Hello, everyone. My guest today is Carola Canavesio. She is the co-founder of a company called Data Buddy. They're growing fast, and one of the things that they're focused on is really helping folks on the machine learning side of business. They founded the company in 2020. Before that, she was born into a family of entrepreneurs, started young selling ads for her local yearbook, and then spent 12 years in Johnson & Johnson at sales, marketing, and sales management before moving to the software business for a machine learning startup. Again, started DataBuddy with her co-founder in August of 2020. Carola, you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, let's go for it.
All right. So what does the product do?
Yeah. So it helps business and financial controllers minimize the time they spend gathering data for their reports.
Okay. And there's a machine learning element component to this, I assume.
At the moment, no. At the moment, the machine learning could be an aspect, a feature that we add in the future. I think the machine learning was more in my past, that the machine learning software I used to sell. But now it's around searching and filtering and extracting data from multiple data sources.
And what sorts of data sources are you relying on mostly?
So, our customers need data from their ERPs. They need local file data. They might need data from APIs. It could be, it could be Forex data. It could be weather data. It just depends on the sector.
Okay. But are they attaching these data sources to your platform via an API? What APIs have you built out?
No, so you would that's right. We connect. That's something that we could do, or they can actually do it themselves. Of course, every API would have to be built specifically for that industry, and then at a certain point, you just have the API ready to be connected. But in terms of connecting to the ERP, it's pretty simple. You have a few keys, keys and passwords that you need to connect, and that's it.
Which ERP? I guess what I'm asking is, when you look at your current user base, which
Right.
ERP, right, are you mostly pulling data from?
Yeah, at the moment, we are talking to customers. We're probably going to have the next couple of pilot customers dropping in the next couple of weeks and months. It does not matter, Nathan. So it could be SAP HANA, it could be Oracle. It does not matter. So it's for any ERP.
Okay. Doesn't it matter though? I mean, you have limited development resources and all of them have different APIs you have to build API integrations for. So it does matter because you have to prioritize your API roadmap.
Yeah, I think it will actually depend on the customers we have, So if it depends on the order of the customers, I think it doesn't really. So whoever is the first, second, third, fourth, customer, then we will develop with them initially. So it will be a slow development in terms of we need to have a base of ERPs initially, and that will probably take a while. But once you have that base, then it's very easy to roll out to all our customers.
So you're in this beautiful moment where you're pre-revenue. You've got some folks that you're learning from. No one's paying yet. What do you
Correct.
Talk to me about how you built your wait list and what you're learning from your wait list?
Yeah. So we find that this particular group is actually very happy to talk to us. So I've interviewed personally about 60 controllers so far. And it's been a combination of connections through the incubator we're in, as well as directly connecting with them on LinkedIn and then calling them. And they've been extremely generous with their time. And it's been very reassuring because the problem that we see comes up 100% of the time.
So on LinkedIn, when you're figuring out who to reach out to, you're searching for the job title controller. What niche, what space? How do you narrow down?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. So just the word controller.
Yeah, and then the titles vary. So it could be usually find that group controllers and senior controllers have have authority to kind of decide to look for a solution, and also might have a greater overview of their back end, and that way they understand the issue that we're discussing.
Now, have you guys written any code for the product yet? And if so, what year did you write that first line of code?
Yeah. So my co-founder is about 70% of the MVP finished, if you can ever say anything is finished, but he's 70% of the way there.
And so you launched, he started writing code last year or this year?
So probably around December.
Okay, got it. So coding in sort of 2020, 70% of the way there.
Well, it was really December, so almost 2021, yeah.
Yeah, fair. And so how are, you guys have gone 5 months here with no revenue. This is the crossing the chasm moment for any entrepreneur. You sort of quit safety, you jump into your own thing. And the big question is, how do you pay your bills during these sorts of months where you're ramping up? How are you managing that as a founder?
No, we're just using our savings at the moment. We are both full-time, doing this full-time. And so yeah, it's tricky times, but we're very committed. We believe that there's a need, and we think that we are hopefully on the cusp of signing up the first few pilot customers.
How did you get yourself mentally in a spot 5-6 months ago to quit whatever you're doing and go to this full time? In other words, were you like, okay, I have X months of savings saved in the bank, or how did you do the risk mitigation?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. And I think that, so we were almost pushed in the situation in the sense that I've been on furlough since April. I live in a country where they're very, very generous with the furlough.
Which country are you in?
Norway.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that put me in a situation where I wasn't in a rush to look for anything else because I really liked the company I was working for, but I was also always interested in starting my own thing. And then my co-founder had just finished an incubator and had decided not to join any of the groups. And therefore, at that time, we were both looking for the next thing to do. And so I think it was, I wish I could say that it was enforced, but it was probably, a combination of factors put together that was the right, just was the right moment.
And so how does furlough work? Once you're furloughed, the government in Norway still pays you money every month and you're sort of living off that plus your savings?
Yeah. Right.
I wonder if this is going to be a pattern post-COVID. I wonder if there's going to be a lot of people in your shoes that got laid off. They have got revenue coming from the government for unemployment or furloughing. And so they say, you know what, let's launch our own business.
I think so. There's definitely been a spike of startups in the last period, and I know this because the government gives grants, small grants for startups in Norway, and they had to change their policies because they just couldn't cope with the inflow of applications last year. Mm-hmm. And there's also a very big focus here because, it's an oil country. So there was a big focus on oil and gas. And of course, they're trying to get the population to look at other sectors to grow.
Yep. Yeah. Now, what do you anticipate charging when you do start asking for money for this? How do you think you'll structure it?
Yeah. So I think I really like pricing. And I think that there's a lot of...
We all like pricing. We all like money.
No, I like the idea of having an innovative way of pricing. Sorry, that's what I meant.
I see.
And I think initially, I think maybe at the very beginning you have to go pretty standard and go for per seat, per amount of maybe connections, for amount of data that you extract. So I see a kind of a per user, about $150 per month for the super user, and then maybe something like $20 to $30 for the normal user. Mm-hmm. But as I said, I think this will evolve in the next 6 months as soon as we can test the market.
Now, I'm recording this in April. If I have you on in a couple of months in December of 2021, how many customers do you hope to have by then?
So if you'd asked me this question in December of 2020, I would have said it would be great to have 3 pilot customers and then kind of launch properly, having really done really good Q&A with those pilot customers in Q4. With the interest we've seen so far, I'm kind of almost hoping 12,
12 customers, $150 a month, so maybe 2, 3, 4 grand.
I think the reality is, I think that we will not be able to charge the first few pilot customers for the first few months because they will really help us develop the product. So I think that starting to charge will be probably happening in Q4 realistically. So I think that, you want to start from probably Q4 up to Q4 the year after to understand how much the turnover is per year.
Most founders I've interviewed who are pre-revenue, the thing that determines when they want to start making money is usually has nothing to do with the business. It has everything to do with their personal situation. How long can they go not making money from the business? So my prediction for you is, as long as you and your co-founder feel comfortable because you have furlough revenue and you're not feeling a crunch of your savings, you're not going to have the courage to really be aggressive with forcing people to start paying. You're going to let your early folks keep going along for free for a long period of time. So my question to you is, how long can you comfortably go along making no money from the business?
No, I think my co-founder is like yesterday. He would say,
yeah.
and I think, and I am in the same position. I also think that you need, it's only fair to charge for a product. I think that, of course, there's freemium, but I'm trying to say is once that initial period is past, I think I think our product could deliver a significant value to our customers. So I think, no, I think we will have this discussion when we start out, with the idea that if after a few months we will start charging.
Yeah. Very good. Well, I'm rooting for you now. You guys are bootstrapped, right? Nothing
Yes.
raised?
Correct.
I love that. And again, using the furlough, using your savings. I love that. 2 of you guys on the team to date, hoping to get first paying customers here. Hopefully this year, we will see what happens, Carola. In the meantime, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
I think it's Fortune Favors the Bold. It Never Dies. It's always a good one.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I think there's just too many. I follow a lot of podcasts, so I can't quite choose one. Yeah.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the business?
Start with very simple things. I found Canva amazing. It's very easy to do things. Then Just in Mind to design our MVP. And Sales Navigator.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
I don't know. Good night, 8 hours. A bad night, 3.
And what's your situation, Carola? Married, single, kids?
Kids. 3 kids.
3 kids. Okay, married with 3 kids. And can I ask how old you are?
40.
40. Last question. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Trust the process. Trust the process. You might need, you need that experience.
She lives in Norway, was furloughed last year, and that furlough plus her savings gave her the confidence to find a co-founder and jump into databuddy.tech, her new business she's building, which helps you automate your ERP data and really get access to it, really unlock that data. They've got some pilot folks right now hoping to have their first paying customers at the end of the year, this year, here in 2021. They have bootstrapped to date. Carola, we're rooting for you. Thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you so much.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company, or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them, and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.